Hi, it's Greg Schwem. Today I'm in Charleston, South Carolina, Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina, and this is a comedian. Crashes your pad. So it was a group of corporate lawyers who invited me to the Deep South to make them laugh at their annual meeting. After the show was over, both myself and the attorneys realized that was a bad idea. I had a much better audience when I wandered around Charleston, the oldest city in South Carolina, full of amazing architecture, historic locations, curious tourists, and wide open spaces. And of course, there's that accent, y'all.
I could listen to that southern accent all day long, particularly on women, because they just sound like they just never get upset about nothing. They never raise their voice. I did a show and the whole audience was 911 call center administrators. This is who you have to have running call centers. Southern women. That's who I want to talk to if I have an emergency. You know, 911, what's the problem, darling? Y'all's house is on fire? Okay, here's what y'all are going to do, okay? You're going to grab your loved ones and any doggies, kitty cat you can rustle up, and just skedaddle right out the front door. What's that? The front door's on fire? Well, bust out a window, honey. The maid's going to clean it up later. Is your throat a little dry from breathing in soot and ash and smoke and whatnot? Because we can stop and pick up some sweet tea at the Cracker Barrel.
Everything has two names here. Ice and Pan, Ink and Ivy, Andrew and Emily. Congratulations, you two. Very controversial statue in the center of Charleston of antebellum statesman John Calhoun. You can kind of see why, because from the back, he kind of looks like the state flasher. I am 1 block from the home share, and I either have to go under these or around them. I am just not feeling that lucky today. And here we go. One door. And, oh man, I forgot these southern homes have stairs. Let's start here. There he is. Hey, Michael, how are you?
I'm doing great, Greg.
Nice to see you. Thank you so much for having me. It's a wonderful place. I have never stayed at any place like this.
We're a Charleston single in downtown Charleston, South Carolina, 2 blocks from King. You can't beat it. This is a 200-year-old Charleston single. Not many left. So they've either collapsed and been renovated, or they just look completely different, or they've added another wing on or wing this way. But this is as pure as it gets.
Now, I should mention we are recording this about 3 weeks after Dorian, which was a big one for a lot of people, but you got spared.
We did. We're actually outside of the flood zone, so we're very fortunate in that regard.
Let's take a look at your property.
Absolutely. So here's the living room.
Does it have a name? Does it have an antebellum plantation name? The front room, the sitting room, the sweet tea room? I don't know.
We can call this the sitting room.
I did happen to notice this, and very, very rarely does somebody put my name on something. Is this standard for guests who stay here?
It is. Every guest, actually, you're our 332nd consecutive guest.
I'm 332!
So here's the bedroom, which we do understand is a little unorthodox in the middle of the house. Guests in general seem to like this setup more.
Except my wife. My wife would look at this, her eyes would go to it right away and say, how many people are going to be walking back and forth through here? This house was built in what year?
1851. If you take a look over here, you can see one of the old windows, and that's how they would pass meals back and forth to the other house, which is weird. I know, it's strange. But
Yeah.
if you can imagine just big bowls of food, and they would share it in between the houses.
I am sort of bummed that tradition died, because that would be a fun thing to do tonight. Just pass meals back and forth. I don't know what the next door neighbors are cooking, but I didn't bring any rations. Tell me about the history of this house. I know that it was, I believe you said it was a lumber magnate who owned this house. Tell me a little bit about the backstory.
He was, yep, absolutely. So Joseph Lambert was basically this huge lumber magnate, like you said, and this was the first house on this lot. He started to sell off the pieces as time went on. He lived here, and I believe maybe only 5 or 6 other families until us.
When guests come and stay at a place like this, what are their first observations, or what are the first things they see?
How quirky things are. They notice there's a little bit of a slant. We actually call it the Charleston lean because the soil here in Charleston is very difficult to build on, and there just aren't any basements. So you're literally just building on supports that are directly, just on the ground. So you'll see those about every 6-7 feet. Our house is no different. And just within this era, that's how they build homes.
As long as I don't have to walk uphill when I go to the bathroom.
Certainly not. And you'll notice everything's got a little bit of a pitch, and that's the Charleston lean. That's why the doors are cut like this to fit the lean, and that's why we have to replace them. So this seems to be everybody's favorite spot right here.
I feel the pitch, Michael. I feel like I'm running towards you right now, and we're on a balcony, so that's kind of disconcerting.
We love the shade of the palm tree, obviously.
Hey, they were out of sweet tea at the convenience store. Really? What prompted you to open up your house to strangers?
That's a great question. There are many projects in a 200-year-old home, as you can imagine, and we wanted to accelerate that process. This was a long-term property for college students. I think they did a sleep 8 here for 10 years. We took the property over.
You just described a frat house, didn't you?
That's what it was.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
They actually had 4 Dodge Rams the first time we checked out the property in this lot right here.
Hey, Bob, where you going? Well, I'm going over to the Beta House to take a shower. The bottom just fell out of my water heater.
It was mayhem. We live right upstairs, and our guests have been fun. We've met a lot of great people that we've kept in touch with.
I asked this to all of my hosts. Most interesting guest, and why?
Outside of you, Greg, I would have to say it was this family from Philly.
I was going to say, most people always start out their answer with outside of you, Greg. But you haven't seen the bathroom the next morning. So I said goodbye to Charleston, but I wasn't gone from the Carolinas for long. Fast forward to fall, when a tractor company said it needed some laughs. Yeah, you heard that right. I found myself in Raleigh, North Carolina, crashing a pad and seeing what our nations of higher academia are churning out. You know how there are certain places where when you're there, you just feel smarter? Yeah, the campus of Duke, that's one of them. To be accepted, all Duke applicants have to spell this correctly on the first try. A lot of dreams have been dashed. Sadly, after 2 hours on campus, I still felt stupid. So, with my brain spinning and my thoughts on tractor humor, it was time to leave Duke and meet my hosts. Well, there's the place right there. They told me I should come around to the back. All right, I'm not totally sure what that is. I think it means scarecrows are welcome. Hi there. You are Angie.
Yes.
Angie, I'm Greg. How are you? Nice to meet you
Come
too.
on.
Thank you. Great directions, by the way. And you must be Dan.
Yeah.
Dan, how are you?
Good to
I'm
meet you,
Greg.
buddy.
Nice to meet you.
My 2 oldest sons moved down here. They loved it because since it's got a private entrance, they could hop the fence, and Mom and Dad didn't know when they were coming or going.
How old were your sons at the time that they decided to do that?
14 and 12.
Perfect.
probably.
Oh, those are good ages
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
All right. You haven't seen them since, right? That was 8 years ago. Can I ask you about your tattoo?
Sure. My parents named me Angela Rose, so they're roses, and both of them, their favorite flower is a rose. Everyone's moving to Raleigh, it seems, so we have people from all over, and everyone's just really excited to be here. The city's getting pretty cool too, a little more artsy than it used to be, and murals going up, and I just like the way it's headed, for sure.
We have more pigs than people in our state.
This is the acorn. It is the symbol of our city. We get excited about this thing on New Year's Eve when they drop it from the sky in downtown Raleigh.
How many people watch the acorn fall from the sky on New Year's Eve? And have you ever been part of that?
Oh yeah. all the
Really?
time.
Are you planning to do that this year?
Yeah, if I'm in town, I'd definitely be there.
Okay.
It's a great little gathering. It's not too crazy.
Oh, it doesn't attract like 500,000 people.
No, I mean...
Ryan Seacrest doesn't come by? One of your former guests said that one of the things you do is you make your own ice cream, correct?
Yes, that's it.
When it snowed, we would always make ice cream from the snow.
Oh.
The best ice cream ever.
I live in Chicago, but whenever it snows, we don't look outside and go, ooh, dessert.
If that were the case, I'd be eating ice cream until 2050.
It's a southern recipe. It's called Southern Peach Ice Cream, but I jazz it up because I'm Italian. I make it with amaretto. So what I do is,
What time is it? Oh, who cares? Peaches aren't probably in season right now, though.
they
right?
aren't. No, they aren't. In fact, I had to, when I heard you were coming, I had to figure out how to get some California peaches.
Are these like from the black market? I mean, these are legal, right? I'm just checking. You know a guy?
It takes 1 can of evaporated milk, 1 container of vanilla instant jello, add the peaches in, and then take some Eagle brand condensed milk.
All right, but we're not exactly giving commercials for anybody, are we? That's Eagle brand condensed milk, which you can get 3 for $5.
A whole bottle of half and half.
If it was really southern, you'd take the whole thing and then deep fry it, right?
Once we turn it, then we have, this is the finished product.
Ah, all right. See, this is like a food show. All of a sudden, it's just made. Yeah.
It's not southern unless we let you try it.
Of course.
So we'll dip you out some.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's really good.
Like that.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm not even going to say it needs more amaretto.
Ah, what the hell. Let's have some ice cream.